Right now at 6, a Missouri state trooper may have prevented a tragedy by deliberately crashing into a wrong-way driver on a Cole County highway.
And we have a warm front pushing through this morning, so we will be warmer today. We will still be breezy. We'll have a look at your forecast coming up.
Plus, a father and son witness a plane crash just seconds ahead of their car on I-95 in Cocoa.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 6 a.m. I'm Samantha Walker.
And I'm Chris Warner. It is Thursday, December the 10th. Happy Thursday. I've been snacking this morning, and I guess something just got caught in my throat there at the end of the last hour, and I could not clear it, and I'm still having trouble with it.
Yeah.
Like, I drank all of this flavored water I had and a half my coffee so far, and I can still feel it. So don't snack when you're doing TV.
He's so distracted he doesn't even know it's December 11th now. Days have changed. Days have changed, and he's still thinking about a snack.
Well, see, and that's going to be the sweet potato thing too. These snacks here, they're coming to get us. They've probably been genetically modified. I'm not one of those crazy people. Jurassic Park taught us a lot, and there's a lot of folks out there who have not learned from it yet.
If you're just joining us, we had a package from our Ag Day Minute about genetically modified sweet potatoes and
changing their color because people are bored with them. And they think that by changing them, that people will be entertained. And in Jurassic World, that's what they did. They were bored with regular dinosaurs, so they invented a dinosaur, and it ate everybody. And now the sweet potatoes are going to eat everybody.
You compare a lot of things in this world to Jurassic World, and it concerns
lessons we're not learning. All right. You want to know about the weather. You don't want to know about Jurassic Park. You probably watched it 100 times by now. So let's take a look outside. No sweet potatoes attacking and no dinosaurs, so that's certainly good. It looks all right downtown Pittsburgh. We're doing okay. We're a bit chilly this morning. Our temperatures this morning actually pretty close to what they were yesterday, but later this morning, about between 9 and 10, our winds are going to ramp up, and that's when we're going to start to see, obviously, gusty winds, but we're going to see the temperatures begin to increase a bit more. Told you, 7th range line looking good. KDOT camera 69, 400, and 171. It's clear, looking good. And like I said, all of these views are fantastic, but they are more useful for you at home and for really everybody when we get bad weather. Thankfully, no bad weather out there for us. MoDOT camera 32nd in range line. Temperatures, like I said, they're pretty comparable to yesterday. We're 36 in Joplin, 34 in Pittsburgh, and across the area, we are in the low, mid, and upper 30s, except for Stockton now. Jay, you'd been cold spot this morning. Stockton now the cold spot, dropping down to 29, and we've got Parsons, it looks like, as the warm spot now at 38. But then you factor in right now what is a light breeze, and we do have some wind chills out there into the low to mid 20s. You can see Stockton, you're at 29, your wind chill's only 28. So I mean, right now the breeze is fairly light, but those winds will increase about 9, 10 o'clock out of the southwest and be gusting upwards of 25 miles an hour. We will be dry again today, and we'll have that same kind of thing with the skies, a mix of mostly clear to partly cloudy skies. Kids heading out the door this morning, about the mid 30s, 55, lunch and recess, upper 50s when they head home later today. And that's where our highs are headed. We're going to go low 40s by 9, mid 50s by noon, upper 50s for most of us for our highs. And so our southwestern communities could reach 61, 62, while partly cloudy to mostly clear skies, southwest winds gusting to 25. Now, a little less than about 23 hours from now or so, we have a cold front that's going to come through the area again, and it's going to drop our temperatures. We'll talk about that, and a pretty big temperature drop this weekend here in just a few more minutes. Samantha?
Chris, thanks. A Missouri State Highway Patrol trooper may have prevented a tragedy when he stopped a driver who was going on the wrong side of the road. It happened early Sunday morning in Cole County. The video shows the driver passing by the trooper while traveling east on the westbound lanes of the highway. The trooper started to chase the driver with lights and sirens, traveling parallel to the vehicle. He then re-entered the westbound lanes and purposefully crashed into the driver. According to the probable cause statement, the 34-year-old woman told police she had consumed alcohol that night. Police say the driver was arrested and is facing several charges, including repeat DWI. Authorities responded to a Tuesday morning crash in Montgomery County involving a semi and a train. The crash happened on Highway 169 at the railroad crossing just north of Cherryvale. Authorities say the semi failed to stop and crashed with a rail car of the passing train. The semi was hauling a trailer load of cattle. The driver was airlifted to an area hospital with serious injuries. Several cattle were safely removed and transported to their destination, though some animals were hurt. Authorities in Jasper County respond to an early morning crash on Interstate 44. Responders say the crash mainly involved two semis whose trailers had broken open and spilled paper plates and small food items. Other vehicles were damaged by hitting items in the road. No word yet on the number of injuries. We'll have updates on our website, KLAMnewsnow.com. Well, it can be hard enough to avoid accidents on the road when you have to look all around you. One driver on board a Space Coast found out that is not always enough. Sometimes you have to look up. Megan Moriarty has details.
A plane just landed on the highway.
A small plane landed on I-95 going southbound.
I-95, a plane just came down.
The 911 calls began pouring in.
We got help on the way.
After this small aircraft crashed down on I-95 in Cocoa on Monday night, slamming into this woman's Toyota Camry.
As we looked down the road, we could immediately see blue lights. You know, there was FHP right there, and I saw a sheriff's vehicle within seconds. So we knew that help was on the way.
Video given to West 2 from a witness shows her getting out of the car shortly after. According to Florida Highway Patrol, she had minor injuries, and the pilot and passenger of the plane, both in their late 20s, weren't hurt.
Any landing where you can walk away is a good landing.
On Wednesday, West 2 got a bird's eye view of what the plane looks like now. It was towed away by a local company and will need to be inspected by investigators. The NTSB, Florida Highway Patrol, and the FAA are looking at this from all angles to see what went wrong and if anyone was at fault.
So we hope that she'll heal quickly, and it'll be a memory that we don't want to see again.
Law enforcement and emergency response agencies in Newton County participated in an active threat exercise. Officers and EMTs simulated an active shooter situation and a criminal gas leak situation to broaden their response tactics. Active threat training gives first responders real-world experience working in a high-stakes situation.
I think it's important that the community knows that we're out here training and we're preparing for that scenario that we hope we never have to face. But what we want them to know is that if we do have a scenario like this, we're prepared for that and we're going to be able to respond.
The Newton County Sheriff's Office thanks Sheepshed Church for offering their facilities for the training. Well, Byers Apartments in Joplin got a new makeover. The goal of the renovations was to improve safety and update code regulations for new tenants. The project was supposed to be done back in June, but the CEO of ProX Property Management said that renovations according to the city's regulations code turned the project into a new development. Many of the issues stemmed from environmental and health concerns.
You could see like open flames, coming from gas lines and things. We were a little nervous to be in here, and these people were living in here.
The city has been trying to evacuate the building and prevent tenants from occupying apartments during the process. Well, Joplin Outreach Group, serving meals outside City Hall, is being asked to relocate. City leadership say the setup is causing access concerns, but volunteers believe the location is essential. KLAM's Blake Goley has more from the group's efforts to serve the community.
I'm here asking you to relocate.
On behalf of
I'm trying to do it nicely.
On behalf of
The city of Joplin.
Louder, please.
The city of Joplin.
The city of Joplin would like what?
For you to be successful in feeding people and going to
But not on public property.
I'm standing outside of Joplin City Hall on the same sidewalk that Hopeful Bites provides meals to those in need. But now the city says that same outreach is causing a problem and they would like the group to move. The group says their work matters in this location and they're pushing back.
The city has an obligation to help the people in the community. And if they're not willing to do so, maybe one of the organizations that gets tax benefits would be willing to do so. If not, then there's a very large problem that needs addressed, and we will be here until it is addressed.
In a letter provided to the group, the city says locating such services on any city sidewalk within the right-of-way presents multiple potential ordinance violations. The letter also states the current location has a negative impact on city operations, including foot traffic in the nearby trolley stop. For now, the group plans to continue offering meals outside of City Hall. Reported in Joplin, Blake Gully, KOAM News.
The city says several local shelters, including Watered Gardens, Souls Harbor, and the Salvation Army, have offered to host the group if they choose to relocate. That's a look at this morning's top stories and weather coming up on the KOAM Morning News. U.S. Special Forces rappel from helicopters onto a Venezuelan oil tanker in a dramatic seizure operation. Plus, U.S. soccer fans breathe a sigh of relief as the men's national team draws Australia and Paraguay for the World Cup. And a bit warm and windy condition with temps dropping this weekend. Chris has a look at your forecast. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back.
We're warm and windy today, colder and windy tomorrow, much colder this weekend, the latest at noon.
We're making marmalade Dijon pork chops in Mr. Food Test Kitchen. Join us today at noon. A Joplin outreach group serving meals outside City Hall is being asked to relocate. City leaders say the setup is causing access concerns. Details today at noon. Topping World Watch, tensions are ratcheting up again in the Caribbean after the U.S. seized a sanctioned Venezuela oil tanker yesterday, not long after it left port. Venezuela is calling the seizure a, quote, serious international crime, and is vowing to defend its homeland. A senior military official and a source familiar with the matter said the U.S. is contemplating more operations like this one, amid a U.S. military buildup aimed at stopping drug trafficking. CBS News' Jared Hill has more from New York.
It's the moment an elite U.S. military unit rappelled from helicopters onto an oil tanker off the coast of Venezuela, guns drawn, executing a seizure warrant.
It was seized for a very good reason.
The Trump administration says the tanker was part of an illicit oil shipping network supporting terrorist organizations like Hezbollah, and that for years it was used to transport sanctioned oil between Venezuela and Iran. President Trump was asked about what'll happen to the oil on board.
Well, I guess so. We're going to keep the
The Venezuelan government called the operation a shameless robbery and an act of international piracy. It's a dramatic escalation in the region where the U.S. has built up a major military presence and conducted at least 22 strikes on alleged drug boats. The White House says it's part of the president's push to combat drug trafficking. In an interview with Politico this week, President Trump issued a warning to Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro.
His days are numbered.
Can you rule out an American ground invasion?
I don't want to rule in or out. I don't talk about it.
Maduro has accused the Trump administration of pressing for regime change in order to control the country's oil reserves. On Wednesday, he criticized Venezuelan opposition leader Maria Corina Machado, who appeared in Oslo after winning the Nobel Peace Prize. She dedicated the award to the, quote, suffering people of Venezuela and President Trump. Jared Hill, CBS News.
Well, that's it for World Watch. Still to come, free school lunches boost math scores and school enrollment, according to new University of Ottawa research. Plus, a bit warm and windy condition with temps dropping this weekend. Chris has a look at your Thursday forecast. The first round matchups are mostly set for next year's FIFA World Cup, and many U.S. fans are breathing a sigh of relief. The men's national team is in a group with Australia and Paraguay, two teams it beat in just the past few weeks. The fourth team in their group will be determined in March. The U.S. is a host nation for the tournament, along with Canada and Mexico. The men's team has never won a World Cup, and now we're joined by the man hoping to change that, Mauricio Pochettino.
In 185 short days, the FIFA Men's World Cup will be co-hosted by the U.S., and it just held the draw for the first round matches. Some good news in that. Team USA is in a group with Australia and Paraguay, two teams we beat in the past few weeks. The fourth team in the group will be decided by a playoff coming up in March. Now, the U.S. men's team has never won a World Cup. However, we now have a fantastic coach, and he's going to change that.
Yes.
Mauricio Pochettino.
Yes.
Thank you very much for being here.
You're welcome.
Yes.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, we're excited for you.
All right, Coach.
And us.
Tell us about this draw. We've got Australia and Paraguay. You feel good about this?
I think now we are all excited, waiting for the World Cup. By the way, if it's one team or another, I think we are excited in the same way. But of course, the reference that we played a few months ago about these two teams make us to be optimistic. But I think we need to try to improve ourselves to be better, and in 6 months to be much better, to be in a better position, in a better place to try to, to settle the mentality and try to win every single game.
But Coach, you have said it's not about picking the best players, it's about picking the right players.
Exactly.
So you're putting your team together. What does it take to get your attention? I'm wondering how many people are calling you going, Coach, my son's very good, or Coach, I'm very good. Yeah, moms and dads.
Okay,
husbands and wives.
amazing that the message that I received, some people say, oh, Coach, I want to play for you, and he's playing I don't know where, in the rest of the world. But I think, yes, it's really tough. It's really tough because I think we have a pool of 70 plus players that we were using in the last year, and I think the competition is there.
What are you looking for? I want to know what
I'm looking
gets your
for
attention.
the best of the things is to be able, the player, to let us to coach, not to think too much, respect the rules, show commitment, because I think, and the most important, like you say, that was perfect.
Yeah.
The right player to defend our flag, our badge.
Of course.
It's our culture and all that represent that society, that is America, that you are a winner.
Of course.
I am a winner too because I come from Argentina. But I think that is the most important, is to represent in the best way our values.
Yeah, and speaking of that, you played in one World Cup back in 2002.
2002 in Japan.
How do you take your own experiences as a player and try to really inject that into the fabric of this team?
Yes, my experience was not so good because I think we were out of the group stage so quick. But during 5 years, we were the best team in Argentina, an amazing team. But it's like what I want to translate to our player is the World Cup is already started.
Yeah.
And we need to do everything to arrive in the best condition not to have any feeling to say, oh, I regret because I didn't do this or I didn't do that. I think to give everything because it's going to be a unique event. And it's in the opportunity to be in our country and to settle and to, the legacy for the future in soccer, for our kids, for the people that love that and feel the passion for that game. And I think we have an unbelievable opportunity, and we need to feel special.
Of course.
Special, that is the responsibility, but the responsibility that after we need to deal very well when arrive the moment to show our talent, because talent with responsibility sometimes is not good.
Are you nervous? I want to
combination.
know how you feel. Are you nervous? I know you're
I am
excited.
not nervous. I am
You
excited.
are not. No, you're not nervous.
No, but if you say to me, I have nervous, yes, but the normal nervous that make me be really competitive. I'm very aggressive. I'm very, excited about
It's the nerves that you're saying, I want to kill it and knock it out of the park. Because I know Argentina has very good beef, so we want to see some good soccer too.
Yes, of course. we that is a good example. But I think also we try to bring to soccer and to the players some strategies. The other day, because I am from Argentina and the last year I am very involved, in here to try to learn from you, the culture and everything. I was in Washington for the draw. I was in the Capitol. I was in Arlington, in the cemetery. And I seen all this type of thing that make you to feel that
of course
we have in front,
Well, on behalf
we're
of
looking forward to it.
365 million of us.
You got our support. Mauricio.
I think this will be a very exciting World Cup season for us here in the 4 states, especially with some of those games getting to be played in Kansas City. Well, now here's Chris with a quick look at your forecast.
Yeah, we're going to take a look outside from downtown Pittsburgh, and we are looking good. We're a bit cool this morning, not too far from where we were yesterday. We will be warmer today by about 10 to 12 degrees, and then we'll be 10 to 12 degrees cooler tomorrow. Much colder heading into the weekend, though. Details when we come back. Time now, 6:23. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. It's 6:26 on this Thursday morning. It's pretty cool this morning, but comparable to yesterday. And we're going to be 10 to 12 degrees warmer than yesterday. And yesterday, we were 10 to 12 degrees cooler than the day prior. Tomorrow will be 10 to 12 degrees cooler than today because Mother Nature is in a mood. I'm not really sure. I don't speak to her. I'm not in touch with her. But I'm not so sure she's in touch with herself right now. So 3 days of fronts, which is something I haven't seen, at least not in recent memory. And I double checked on surface map data to make sure I wasn't like going crazy. I'm like, are these really fronts or is it something I'm missing? No, it's really 3 days of fronts. We had a cold front yesterday morning, cooled us down. And that's the other weird part. Is they're all coming in almost at the exact same time. About 5 a.m. yesterday. Now, 5 o'clock this morning, we had a warm front start pushing through. 5 o'clock tomorrow morning, I'll show you the cold front that's going to come back through. But that warm front moving through now, and by about 9, 10 o'clock, winds are going to increase out of the southwest, and they're going to start gusting upwards about 25 miles an hour. Outside of that, we're warmer, and we'll have that same mix of mostly clear to partly cloudy skies. Now, overnight tonight, we're still partly cloudy. And look, 5 o'clock, tomorrow morning, you see that wind shift line? That's another front. This one's a cold front again. North winds back behind it. West winds gusting ahead of it. Gusty north winds behind it. Another mostly clear to partly cloudy day. And we'll have those north winds gusting to about 20. We'll be a little cooler. Now Saturday, this is Friday into Saturday. It's the first day this week we don't have fronts coming through. But you see the winds shifting out of the northeast Saturday? Got a pretty active pattern out to our north and east. In fact, again, I looked earlier, winter weather advisories like from the Dakotas down into Tennessee and Kentucky. They're going to get snow off to our north and east heading into this weekend. We won't, at least that's the expectation. It should stay actually pretty far off to our northeast. We're talking up by like Kirksville, Quincy, St. Louis, much further east. But we will be close enough to this system that we will get the really cold air and clouds that will start settling in late Saturday heading into Sunday. We're going to talk about how cold it's going to get in a moment, but first, let's take a moment and enjoy a slightly warmer day. We're going to go upper 30s by 8, and you see how the temperature jump is right here from 9 to 10. That's when those winds are going to start ramping up. We'll go into the low 50s by 11. I think the majority of us are looking at highs today into the upper 50s, some low 60s, not out of the question. And those southwest winds gusting to 25. Overnight tonight, we're dropping back into the upper 30s. West winds ahead of the front, gusting to 25. Tomorrow, behind the front, north winds gusting to 20, upper 40s, upper 40s. Saturday, as I mentioned, that's when that Arctic air sets in. We drop down into the teens Saturday night into Sunday, and we're looking now at only the upper 20s on Sunday. And the reason this is a big deal is, I mean, we've had some teens, but the reason this is a bigger deal is it's going to be breezy out of the northeast from Saturday night into Sunday. So we are looking at the possibility of wind chills from 0 to 10 below as we get started on Sunday. So again, if you're heading out for church on Sunday, if you're heading out for anything on Sunday morning, you need to bundle up. You need to be prepared for that. But take a look. Sunday, yeah, it's cold. So is Sunday night. But that's what? An 8 degree drop in temperatures. Not much, because we start warming up again because Mother Nature is still confused. We go 40s on Monday and Tuesday, 50s Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, maybe even in the low 60s by next weekend with some slight shower chances Tuesday through Thursday. So, yeah, it's a bit of a wild ride, but there it is. That's a check of your forecast. We're going to send it over to Samantha now with Health Watch.
Thanks, Chris. Free and subsidized school lunches lead to modest gains in math scores and school enrollment. According to scientists from the University of Ottawa, this happens in both high-income countries and low- and middle-income countries, and also contributes to small gains in height and weight for children. Only 7% of women are properly follow cervical cancer screening guidelines, which includes pap smears and HPV testing. University of Washington researchers say about 61% are overscreened and 31% underscreened. They say changing guidelines have likely caused confusion among patients, clinicians, and health systems. And a new analysis shows slowly tapering off antidepressants and receiving therapy is the most effective method for stopping antidepressants for patients who have recovered from depression. The research published in Lancet Psychiatry found this strategy is as effective at treating depression as if the adult never stopped taking their medication. Researchers found it can prevent 1 relapse in every 5 individuals compared to the abrupt stopping or fast tapering of medication. That's a look at some of today's top health stories. We'll be right back. Right now at 6:30, a group of Missouri residents moved to block a proposed congressional map. The story of people, not politicians.
And take a look at this sunrise. Looks beautiful out there this morning. A bit chilly this morning. Warm and windy later. We'll tell you how warm it's going to get coming up.
And later, Santa's sleigh gets an upgrade as Crawford County first graders ride the Christmas Express train from Pittsburgh.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News at 6:34. I'm Samantha Walker.
I'm Chris Warner. It is Thursday, December the 11th. Welcome to Thursday. I know I said the 10th earlier, but I've corrected it. I figured it out.
And you're never going to forget it again.
I will not I will not forget it again until about 10 minutes from now, when I probably will forget it again. Well, happy Thursday, everybody. I hope your week is going good so far. Your week going all right? I mean, I'm here with you daily, so I know roughly how your week's going. But
I think it's going good. How's your week going?
Tired. You know, haven't got a lot of sleep the last few nights. Nobody's fault. You just ever have those times like you're tired, but you can't fall asleep? That's been happening. Like, I'm getting tired and I lay down, but then like laying down gives you just enough of a boost where you can't fall asleep yet, and then you just lay there forever staring at the wall. But eventually I'm sure I'll catch back up on the sleep, and we're going to catch back up on our temperatures for a day before it gets cooler again. We'll start with our beautiful look from downtown Pittsburgh. Take a look at that sunrise. It looks absolutely amazing this morning. Our camera 7th and range line capturing that same sunrise. I can't turn it too much further to the right because the tower it's attached to, if I go a little too far to the right, it will start blocking the view. So this is as good as it gets, but it still looks really nice out there. KDOT camera 69, 400, and 171 here. We've got a car. We've got another car. Traffic is moving. Of course, as long as it's moving, that's always a good thing. Same from the MoDOT camera 32nd in range line. We had 2 cars, 3 cars, and they are in motion. As long as traffic's not stopped, unless the light's red, of course, we're doing okay. 36 in Joplin right now, 34 in Pittsburgh. Our temperatures this morning pretty close to what we had this time yesterday morning. We've got low, mid, and upper 30s. Stockton, you were the cold spot at 6. You dropped to 29. You're up to 31. Jay, you were the cold spot most of the morning at 31. You've now come down to 29 degrees. Parsons, Neodesha tying up for the warmer spots out there, both at 38. Now, right now, we have a light breeze. It will increase in the next few hours, but even that light breeze, look at these wind chills, feels like 22 Yates Center and Iola. We've got some 20-degree readings out there, and like I said, you see these temperatures, the wind chills aren't that big of a difference from the temperatures, because at least right now, those winds are calm. But by about 9, 10 o'clock, those winds pick up out of the southwest. They'll start gusting upwards of 25. We'll be dry, we'll be warmer, and we'll have that same mix of mostly clear to partly cloudy skies as we head through the day today. Kids heading out the door, 36 degrees. We'll go 55 by lunch and recess, 59 as they head home. Yes, that's right, 59. Today we are 10 to 12 degrees warmer than yesterday. Yesterday was 10 to 12 degrees cooler than the day prior, and tomorrow will be 10 to 12 degrees cooler than today because we have another cold front coming in, which we'll discuss later. We're going to go low 40s by 9, mid 50s by noon. Again, most of us upper 50s for our highs, couple of low 60s in our southwestern counties, not out of the question. And again, gusty southwest winds pushing about 25 miles an hour. And again, tomorrow morning, another front, this one a cold front, brings our temperatures back, and we've got a pretty significant drop in temperatures Saturday into Sunday. We'll go over those details with you here in just a few more minutes. Samantha?
Chris, thanks. Southeast Kansas hospitals and mental health centers unite for patients in the 4 states area. A number of Southeast Kansas healthcare providers have come together to form a new coalition. Southeast Kansas Health includes Labette Health, Wilson Medical Center, Labette Center for Mental Health Services, Ford County Mental Health Center Incorporated, and Southeast Kansas Mental Health Center. The coalition aims to get residents the right care close to home. Well, Crawford County first graders and special education students got to experience a holiday train ride on the Christmas Express yesterday. Watco and South Kansas Oklahoma Railroad sponsored 2 festive rides that departed from Pittsburgh. The event featured a visit from Santa, Mrs. Claus, and Santa's elves, along with a safety lesson on railroad tracks awareness. Organizers say this heartwarming tradition brings holiday cheer and education to the community every year. A group of Missouri residents is moving forward with a petition to block a newly proposed congressional map. As John Lieber reports, the group People, Not Politicians, say they have the numbers to back the proposal.
For the show me state, you're going to have to show us, give us a good reason. You just can't pull this kind of stunt for no reason.
Members of People Not Politicians delivered nearly 300,000 signatures to halt the state legislature's newly passed congressional district map. The initiative petition is one of the largest referendum turn-ins in Missouri history.
It is about putting people's voices into action. Every box that you carry, every sheet, carries the aspirations of a Missourian.
The submission effectively places a hold on the map approved by lawmakers in September until voters can weigh in at the ballot box next November. The new map, drawn to help President Donald Trump hold on to a Republican majority in the U.S. House, focuses on Metro Kansas City, splitting one area, now represented by Democrat Emanuel Cleaver, into 3 congressional districts, none of them winnable by Democrats.
People see that as, well, what's the emergency here? What's the change that we need to make? When the answer to that is the change is about achieving a partisan goal, then it becomes very clear to Missourians.
Assuming the map achieves its purpose, the new map would give the GOP a 7-1 majority in the Show Me State. Republican Missouri Secretary of State Denny Hoskins indicated he would invalidate some 92,000 signatures because they were collected before October 15th, when the petition was approved by his office. A Cole County judge is considering a People Not Politicians lawsuit against Hoskins, a suit that claims such invalidation violates the Constitution.
The idea of silencing Missourians' voices who are expressing their constitutional right will never be water under the bridge for us. It will never be inconsequential.
Even without the 92,000 signatures, the group still surpasses the 107,000 valid signatures needed to place this issue on the ballot.
I'm very confident that when the signatures are checked, we are going to have enough signatures to qualify.
But Von Glahn says they will not drop the court battle over signatures collected before October 15th.
Because those signatures are representations of Missourians petitioning their government for redress. Core First Amendment, fundamental rights, the things that we learn about in grade school.
In a separate case, a federal judge Monday refused to back a challenge by Republican Attorney General Catherine Hanaway and other GOP leaders that sought to prevent a statewide vote on redistricting. Judge Zachary Bluestone said the federal court lacked jurisdiction in the matter.
That's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. The Federal Reserve cuts interest rates for the 3rd straight time, bringing rates to their lowest level in 3 years. In Consumer Watch, the Federal Reserve has issued its 3rd straight interest rate cut. The Federal Reserve has cut its benchmark interest rate by 1/4 percentage point, bringing the lowest federal funds rate to its lowest level in more than 3 years. The central bank has also signaled that it could just issue 1 rate cut next year, though Fed officials say they will make the decision based on further economic data. That's it for Consumer Watch. And now here's Chris with a quick look at your forecast.
Yeah, take a look at that sunrise from downtown Pittsburgh. Looks absolutely gorgeous this morning. Like I said, some of these sunrises we get from our cameras here are ones that you could save as, like a desktop background or something. Even our camera at 7th and Range Line in Joplin, it's a little lower on the tower, and so it just gives another perspective of how beautiful it looks. It is a bit on the cold side this morning, but worry not, we will warm up later today. We'll go over those details, plus a big weekend cool down and birthdays and anniversaries right after this. Welcome back. Time for some Thursday birthdays in the 4 states. We're starting in Pittsburgh with Tate Bollinger celebrating number 2. Happy birthday, Tate.
Well, in Moran, Kansas, Ella Mae Stroud is celebrating birthday number 3. Happy birthday, Ella Mae.
And back to Pittsburgh for Jordan Rattery celebrating birthday number 8 with happy birthday wishes from Mima.
And in Fort Scott, Lane Laird is celebrating birthday number 17. Happy birthday, Lane.
And in Iola, William Jones celebrating birthday number 38 today. Happy birthday.
And in Frontenac, Kansas, Dr. Michael Clark is celebrating birthday number 60. It says happy birthday from your staff.
And in Miami, Sherry Schofield celebrating birthday number 75 says happy birthday, we love you.
And in Columbus, Pam Gorgato is celebrating birthday number 78. It says happy birthday from your friends and CCRH class of 65.
Heading over to Joplin now for Bonnie Nichols celebrating birthday number 94. Happy birthday, Bonnie.
And we're celebrating a very special birthday here at KOAM. Hugh Hardage is celebrating a birthday today. He's a marketing consultant here. And so a very happy birthday to you, Hugh.
Indeed, a very happy birthday to you, Hugh. Very happy. I just threw that on the ground. Maybe there's something else I can throw on the ground this morning. Well, while I pick up the mess here, Samantha's going to tell you how to submit birthdays and anniversaries to us here at KOAM.
Yes, you can see that email on your screen. It's birthdays@koamnewsnow.com. You can submit those birthdays, anniversaries, any photos you want us to include, but also make sure you pay attention to that deadline so we can make sure that we're able to celebrate with you in plenty of time on your special day.
Indeed, definitely want to make sure you meet those deadlines there, and you want to make sure that you're prepared for the continuously changing weather forecast. I feel like this is going to turn into an Unsolved Mysteries thing. It's tonight on Unsolved Mysteries. Mother Nature, where has she gone? If you have answers, call our tip line or visit unsolved.com. I miss Robert Stack. That was a good show. Great stories they told. Mother Nature does seem to either be missing or she needs some coffee. I'm not sure. 3 fronts in 3 days, and that just to me is wild. We had a cold front yesterday morning, and I want to tell you too, and if you weren't with us yesterday or earlier this morning, the wildest part to me is they're all coming in at almost the same time. Like, it's not just like it's been 3 fronts over 3 days at varying times. They're coming in almost at the same time. So around 5 a.m., now granted, by 5 a.m., let me put it this way, by 5, they're roughly halfway through our area. Yesterday morning at 5, it was right along I-44. This morning at 5, it was right about here. And tomorrow morning at 5, it'll be halfway through the area with another one. Cold front yesterday, warm front today, and with it, the winds will begin to increase roughly between about 9 and 10 a.m. They'll start picking up out of the southwest, gusting to 25. We will be warmer, though, with another mix of mostly clear to partly cloudy skies. We go overnight, partly cloudy, and there it is. See, by 5 a.m., halfway through the area, there's a cold front. It's just a wild string of events taking place here. But we'll have north winds behind it, west winds gusting ahead of it, north winds gusting behind it up to 20. We'll still have that same mix of mostly clear to partly cloudy skies tomorrow, but we'll have the north winds to contend with. And while we're 10 to 12 degrees warmer today than yesterday, we'll be 10 degrees or so cooler tomorrow thanks to that cold front. Now, what we don't have for the first time in a minute, from Friday into Saturday, no fronts passing through. But we got a powerful system coming in. Now, it's going, the bulk of it will miss us to the northeast. There's winter weather alerts, again, from the Dakotas into Tennessee, Kentucky out there, not including us, obviously, or we would have told you about them, but we will be just close enough to this system that as it approaches, northeast winds will start picking up a bit. Clouds increase late in the day on Saturday. Those winds pick up late in the day Saturday, and our temperatures are going to take a dive Saturday night into Sunday. And while we'll get to the extended forecast a little later, I do want to point out right now, as a heads up, If you've got anything, if you're going to church Sunday morning, you're doing anything Sunday morning, first part of Sunday, these gusty winds could put our wind chills up to 10 below zero. So we're talking one of the coldest days so far this particular winter season. And you need to be prepared for that because it's a pretty big drop. We've had these ups and downs the last several days, but that's a pretty big drop going into Sunday morning. As for this morning, gosh, that sunrise, again, it's just always so pretty out there. We're going to go upper 30s, and you see this is where those winds pick up because we have a pretty decent jump from 9 to 10 a.m. in our temperatures. We'll be in the low 50s by 11 a.m. We're going to talk about those very cold temperatures this weekend in the extended forecast here in just a moment. We'll also have your wake-up recap, and when we transition to Fox 14 at 7 a.m., the Federal Reserve is cutting interest rates for the third time this year. Chairman Jerome Powell says the economy is in a neutral position heading into 2026, hinting more cuts are far from guaranteed. That story and a lot more at 7 a.m.
This is your Wake Up Recap for December 11th, your top stories to start your day. A Missouri State Highway Patrol trooper may have prevented a tragedy in Cole County early Sunday. Dashcam video shows a driver heading east in the westbound lanes. The trooper pulled alongside with lights and sirens, then crossed over and intentionally struck the vehicle to stop it. According to the probable cause statement, the 34-year-old driver admitted to drinking. She was arrested and faces multiple charges, including repeat DWI. A plane crash lands onto a Florida interstate. Video shows a small plane attempting an emergency landing on Interstate 95 in Cocoa, Florida on Monday. Florida Highway Patrol says the plane hit one vehicle in the crash and one person was sent to the hospital with minor injuries. The agency reports 2 people were on the plane and neither was hurt. The Federal Aviation Administration is expected to investigate the cause of the crash. Well, that's a check of today's Wake Up Recap.
And today we are going to be warmer as we head into the afternoon. We have that warm front popping in, already pushing through, and we're going to be into the upper 50s for most of us. Some low 60s, not out of the realm of possibility. Southwest winds gusting to 25. We'll continue with partly cloudy skies through the evening and overnight back into the upper 30s. West winds ahead of another cold front tomorrow morning, gusting to 25. We get that cold front in here early tomorrow morning. North winds gusting to 20. Behind it, upper 40s. Upper 40s again Saturday, but an Arctic blast gets close. There's a bigger snow event off to our east. We should be out of it, but temperature-wise, we're not out of it. We drop into the teens Saturday night into Sunday, only into the 20s on Sunday, and with gusty northeast winds Saturday night into Sunday, could be starting the day with wind chills up to 10 below zero as a possibility. So definitely want to make sure you're prepared as you head out the door Sunday for some very bitterly cold temperatures. And then, don't worry, it will turn around and warm right back up into the 50s and 60s by the second half of next week because Mother Nature's in a mood this week, the last couple of weeks.
A little bit of whiplash.
Indeed.
Well, coming up today at noon, we're making marmalade Dijon pork chops in Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
And your morning news continues on KOAM with CBS Mornings. Coming up, details of a new plan by the Trump administration that could require tourists from dozens of countries to submit their social media history before entering the U.S.
Or you can switch on over with us on Fox 14, where your only local morning news continues. This morning, Dustin Luna with the Joplin Fire Department joins us to talk about some winter fire safety tips, especially when it comes to space heaters.
This can be very dangerous if you don't do it right. Plus, in the garden, greenhouse, and nursery in the studio, tell us about an upcoming community market event hoping to encourage shopping small and local for the holidays. However, that is going to wrap it up for us for now. We'll be back here bright and early tomorrow morning at 5 a.m.
And we'll see you today at noon.